What is up, my dudes? This is Trent. We're doing a little best ball draft here with Ron, Commissioner Rhino. We do a lot of talking about, some of our favorite sleepers, favorite players, some hidden gems, just the best ball draft. And if you want to follow along the whole draft, you probably should head over to YouTube at TFF Dudes. We do follow the draft. We're mostly just talking ball. Ron, we are doing an Underdog best ball draft. Ron, you're kind of new to this, right? You kind of knew the whole best ball thing?
Yeah, I started last year. That was the first year doing it. I mean, like the money ball. 2 years ago, I was in a tournament with best ball. I just sucked at it. I was horrible. Yeah, last year, I started using drafters and started getting better and stuff. It's a whole new science, man.
It's a good way to, I don't know. I like it personally I like it better for mock drafting. We're doing the schnauzer here. Is that how you say it? You're a dog guy, right, Ron?
Schnauzer. Yeah, schnauzer.
Schnauzer. Okay, sorry. Reading's not my specialty. So $3 entry. I think it's up to $1 million one, or is it 100,000? Not sure, but so we're gonna do this now here. So we are at Underdog Fantasy, promo code DUDES, guys. They'll match you up to $1,000 for all new users. So head over to Underdog Fantasy. Helps me out. So
I'm drafting third.
You're third, Ron. What are you targeting here? Yeah. Are you going to go hero RB? What are you thinking?
You know what? I'm going Bijan or Gibbs.
Okay.
I do not. I like Jamar Chase, but I'm going. A lot of the drafts I've been going running back heavy first.
Okay.
Because I'm finding that you can get quality good receivers, 1A or 1B receivers to the 1A receiver in the later rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I've been doing it. It's been working out pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, and you're going to have plenty of time to come back. Almost when you're at the turn there, you almost don't want to, you can get your hopes up a little bit. So this draft actually is starting. Yeah. Now I'm going to do a little better view here. What do we want to do? Let's do this. That's a better view, I think. For all you watching at home on TFF Dudes, follow along. We got Commissioner Rhino on the clock now. Jamar Chase, Saquon Barkley, a little easier following. So Bijan, I'm a Bijan guy too, Ron.
You know what? He is, we talked about on our show, and he's going to have a Todd Gurley kind of year. About 2017, 2018, we had almost 2,500 yards from scrimmage. He's prone for that right now. He's prone for that. Second year, Zach Robinson offense and Michael Penix at quarterback. Yeah. All day long, man.
Yes.
All day.
So I had the fifth pick. I got CeeDee Lamb. Being a Cowboys fan, I like it when CeeDee Lamb falls to me.
Do you try to get a Cowboys in every draft?
CeeDee Lamb is the only guy I really try to get. I don't mind getting their tight end, if he's available. Other than that, I'm not like I have to get a Cowboys guy. Like in like real fantasy, I'll get somebody I'll get somebody on free agency or something, right? So, but
right,
yeah. And you're a Rams.
I'll try to get one Rams, one Raiders, and one Cowboys because my wife was a Cowboys fan, so I need to rep her too.
Okay, yeah, no, I get it. And see, my wife's a Chargers fan. What I always say is that's okay. The Chargers never hurt anyone. So you being a Raiders fan, I'm sure you don't like the Chargers.
No. I'll watch them. There's not too many teams I just don't like or refuse to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them I enjoy watching. So
yeah, Derrick Henry off the board there so we had a little bit running back run there. Genty, Gibbs, McCaffrey, real early for McCaffrey there at 6. I feel like. How do you feel about that?
Well, this is how I feel. I ain't touching him. If he drops to the 4th round, I'll touch him maybe. But I have an issue. I have a problem with players. I'll put Godwin the same way. Any player that came off a bad injury and is older, I'll fade on him. Last year I faded on McCaffrey too, because he had a little bit of calf strain coming into the season, off season last year. And look what happened. and coming off a PCL and then plus the 2 Achilles tendonitis.
Yeah.
That's a recipe for disaster.
I had him in a league. You're on the clock. I just took Bucky Irving, then it went Josh Jacobs. So you're up. Kyron.
I got my boy Kyron.
That's good value.
This. Yeah.
You got the Bijan Kyron stack there. That's pretty nice.
There's quite a division within the fantasy football community, Kyron Williams.
Yeah.
Some are even, I'll tell you, even the Rams community, there's a big separation with him because they think they're feeding him. They don't think he should get extension. I think he should get extension. But they're worried about, what about Blake Corum? Well, Blake Corum had an issue last year with pass pro. Not play that much.
So Brock Bowers off, Garrett Wilson. So after you come up here, Ron, your name on X is Commissioner Rhino, is it not? Is that the name?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I want to, if you want to tell us why that's your name, we got a lot. And drop your, where people can follow you, what you do. I've watched a couple of your guys' lives.
This is my first share of Marvin Harrison Jr. ever. So, how I got Commissioner Rhino.
Yes.
I have 2 home leagues.
Okay.
And people know me from Rhino. On Twitter, I'm Commissioner Rhino, and my avatar is a Rhino flexing. And I had that. I keep that in honor of my wife. My wife was a big fan of rhinos from Scott Alexander, Rhinoceros Success books and stuff like that. So, everybody would call me Rhino. And then we're doing a space, and one of my best friends, Greg Williamson, played defensive back for the Rams.
Okay.
He was on the show, on the space. We were talking, and Greg was talking. They asked Greg, "Are you in Ron's fantasy football league?" And then I started laughing, and he started laughing. He said, "Yeah, I was." He kicked me out.
No, an NFL guy? Come on, Ron.
So I have 2. I kicked out my sister too this past year.
That was probably easy to do though, right?
Yeah. So this is the thing. I've been commissioner in my 2 home leagues for 8 years, and they're set up where you had to have won a Super Bowl or been in a championship game. Otherwise, you're not in the league. So it's a very competitive league.
So wait, explain that to me.
So the only way they got into league is they had to have won a championship in some other fast football league.
Okay. So you have to have a resume to get into this league.
Or been in the championship game. One of the 2. So that just tells me, okay, you take it serious and you know what you're doing.
Yes.
Do
you have to have like an affidavit to prove you aren't a liar, or do you actually take people's word for it? Because there's a lot of things you can do with AI now, Ron.
Yeah. I know. Well, this is before AI, dude. So AI wasn't around too much then. It started off where he missed the draft because he got the times wrong.
That's not a mass kick out, I feel like.
So then got to the point where
that's how it starts. You missed the draft, you aren't going to probably care about your team.
He was setting his team, and he was winning though. That's the sad thing. He was winning because he had the Patriots defense that year, and that's when Patriots defense was just scoring big time.
Okay.
It was covering the people that weren't off. So I told him, if you can't do this, then I got to kick you out, dude. And he understood.
Yeah, you warned him.
I warned him. I gave him a couple warnings, and this was probably like 5 weeks into the season that this happened. So, the sad thing is the person that took over his team beat my team in the championship game that year.
Oh man.
Yeah. She had Chris Godwin and Mike Evans going the same time, and they're playing against the 32nd ranked defense, and both my running backs went out.
Man, I'm looking at thinking I want to go. What running backs we got here? I got 20 seconds left. I got Hampton, Mixon. Sorry, how far down is this guy? He's pretty far down there. Man, I'm gonna go Worthy here. Big play guy. So I got Lamb and Worthy.
I like Xavier Worthy.
What do you think about me taking McBride in the third? You're on the clock. Jamison Williams, that was the other guy I was kicking around.
Man, the stuff that's coming out about what they want to do with him and Gibbs, when they want to be isolated more isolated plays, yeah, I'm all over that, man.
So, and what do you think about me taking McBride in the third? Do you like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not leaving drafts without Kittle or McBride. I kind of like Kittle's spot there a little bit more, but I think at the front end of the second, I like taking McBride more than Kittle. And in best ball, a lot of guys like stacking, so I feel like I can get Kyler Murray somewhat early, but I shouldn't say that because you have Marvin Harrison, and you might try to snipe me on him now. But I don't know. You're an NFC West guy. You might not be wanting Kyler Murray.
I don't trust Kyler Murray.
Okay. You a Call of Duty guy, Ron? I know you were in the military, so maybe you don't do that. You've done the real thing. What do you think? How long have you been doing fantasy football, Ron?
I've been playing fantasy football since, so it was in 1989. And I played, we drafted on a piece of paper. We had to call in our lineups. On Monday mornings, we had to get the newspaper, when the newspapers actually had stats and stuff, write the stats down, send them to the commissioner. So my two favorite picks from that draft was Johnny Johnson, the Cardinals, and Randall Cunningham.
Okay, nice.
And Johnny Johnson was a rookie. I got him in the 4th round, and everybody in that draft room were like, "Who's this guy?" I told Bill, "Here, throw the magazine." Because back then you had to go to the magazine and read about these players and stuff because college football wasn't on regularly like it is now.
Yeah. It's nice. What are you, man, I need to get another running back. I got Bucky Irving and that's it.
I lasted one season because I pissed the old guard off because I did good. I came in 3rd place, but it was my brother-in-law's league, and him and my sister had a falling out. So we had a falling out. And then it was 20 years later, in 2009, he started another league, and me and my wife joined that league. I didn't do very good the first year because that's the first time I had cancer. So I was trying hard to concentrate playing fantasy football.
Yeah, absolutely.
The next year I won 6 championships.
Whoa.
It got to the point where my old former brother-in-law was doing stuff behind my back. And telling people not to take trades and stuff like that. So me and my wife bounced, and that's when I started my own home league that's been going on for 8 years now.
Okay. I feel like every league kind of has some kind of somewhat of stuff going like that. It just takes one guy to win once or twice with some bad trades, and all of a sudden he kind of gets that, black plague around the league where like when new guys come in, guys are like, hey, watch out for this guy, he'll so. And it's kind of unfortunate because it kind of, I don't know, not having trading, guys who don't trade, I think it kind of takes the fun out of it. It kind of makes the league end after the draft, right?
Well, I can't stand to be in a league that people don't draft or that don't do trades. And if somebody doesn't counter offer a trade.
Yeah.
I'm a sicko with that, man. I'm a sicko towards that kind of stuff because I love that. I've gone 3 weeks going back and forth.
What do you
3 or 4 times a week with somebody?
What do you think of? Do you do a lot of Dynasty or you just do redraft?
No, I'm in my Keepers League is one for 8 years, and then I just switched that one into a sleeper league. Last year was a redraft when that was a Dynasty, and then I'm in 2 or 3 redrafts, and then I have a redraft IDP league that I just started.
I've never done the defensive ones. I'm in 7 leagues and I'm like, I don't know if I can do another one. So I don't join. I haven't joined any this year.
Yeah. I just signed up for the Warrior Bowl.
Okay.
But the one I'm excited about right now is freaking Scott Fish Bowl. Live draft in this weekend, bro. I
got into that one year. Smack, and they're a sponsor of the show. So go trophysmack.com/dudes, 15% off. But I had a lot of fun. I haven't gotten back in since. So where is this at in Vegas? It looks awesome.
It is at the Circa.
Okay.
It's the swim.
Yeah.
Swim. The
Nice.
swim. I don't say it. Yeah. But yeah, one of the guys popped a video of how it was last year. I was like, man, I can't wait, man. This is kind of cool because this is the first time I've done anything
Mm-hmm.
by myself. Since my wife passed away 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, plus it's Vegas. I could have picked LA. And LA is actually closer to me. It's 60 miles.
Yeah.
I hate driving. I hate driving those freeways. I'd rather go straight down the 3.5 hour, have some 80s alternative music on.
Absolutely.
Just go.
You don't listen to many podcasts?
I do during the day.
Okay. But when you drive, you like to rock out?
Yeah. But
I get it.
I like to listen to music too. So
yeah. What are you thinking of Olave? He's available right now. You just took Kinchin Junkins.
I'm not touching Olave.
Man, I really thought I would get James Conner or Montgomery on the way back, and I took Godwin. I'm going to pay for that.
He's one head injury away from.
Yeah, not even playing again.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. I'm not liking what I got at running back here now, Ron. I got Bucky. I think I'm going to have to pair him up with Tony Pollard. Then I'm going to have to take some dart throws.
Yeah, I think I missed out on some tight ends, but I'll come back around.
Yeah,
and get
that's easier position to punt.
Yeah.
What do you think about Brian Robinson Jr. in Washington? He's still the starter there, right?
Yeah, I like Brian Robinson Jr. He's a stud.
I'm going to go with
I don't know what to make of the kid from Arizona that they drafted in the 6th round, but Brian Robinson Jr., he's reliable. He was hurt last year, most of the year. He was moved up, so you can't go off of that, but that's what people look at, I think. I'm not... I don't... Yeah. I go for people that are like, I try not to listen to what too many people say out in the fantasy football community, because if you do, I just jacked up my draft. Dude, you've been doing this for 18 years.
Yeah.
You know what to do.
Yeah.
Oh man, my guy's gone.
So other than, kick a former NFL player out of a fantasy football league, what's kind of the craziest thing you've had happen, just league drama wise, like more of like funny stuff, not, like personal stuff, but like, is there anything like funny that like, group text type stuff, like trophies getting stolen, stuff like that?
This is the first, we've always done just for bragging rights. So last year was the first year. Last year was the first year that I did it, and you can see my trophy or my belt in the back.
Nice.
Nice. And so this year I told them this is my keepers league. I told we'll do either the belt or a ring. But then in my Dynasty league that started up, it's a $30 buy-in. So first place gets 200, then high points gets 100.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so hopefully. But the funny, I told my best friend, dude, set your thing up how you want things to happen, like to be drafted, because ESPN can set up like 2 quarterbacks and this and that, right? And he didn't listen to me, and his power went out of his house.
No.
Well, yeah. So he drafted like 3 defenses, 4 kickers, three quarterbacks. I told him, man, God, listen.
Hey,
listen to the commissioner. Yeah. I know.
So, things happen. Like, and I probably shouldn't share this, but the first like official date I went on with my wife after we had, thought I was dating her for 3 years, we went to a concert and I had a fantasy football draft that wasn't in person. So I got a guy to draft for me. I'm like, hey, I'm good. Here's my Yahoo login, all this stuff. It should work. Well, I'm like halfway through the concert and I realize my phone's rang like 8 times. I have like 13 text messages like, hey, your login's not working. And then I have the other group text and the other one going like, Trent took Jordy Nelson in the 7th overall. Guy must not know he had an ACL tear, So it's just like, that was the year, like that was the year Rodgers did really good, but like Jordy Nelson got hurt. I think I took him in the 2nd round. But yeah, just a total auto draft disaster. And at that point, it's like, what am I doing in this league now? You know what I mean? Like, I thought I had everything lined up. I think that what happened, I'm on the clock, was kind of like Darnell Mooney here.
I love Darnell Mooney. He's not getting enough blur out there.
He's not.
He quietly had a good season last year. And
he
half
did.
That season was Kirk Cousins, you know?
Yeah. So what ended up happening was it was like one of the letters was the first letter like didn't get capitalized through the text or something. And yeah, so it was just a very simple mistakes were made, but I ended up marrying my wife. So maybe it worked out for me that I didn't go to the draft. Yeah. So I don't know. So that's probably my biggest blunder. Jordan Mason in the 8th round. I like it, Ron.
I like Jordan Mason. I haven't been able to get him in too many of the drafts that I've done because he's usually gone. But yeah. Probably a couple years, 3 years ago, I just started getting to the ADP thing. Before that, on ESPN, I don't think they had ever had ADP, so I always just drafted
alphabetical.
Drafted the players I want. You know, so now I still kind of go off the ADP, but I'm not afraid if I want somebody, I'm going to grab them.
Yeah, I kind of did that with Brian Robinson Jr. That was a pretty big reach on ADP.
But that's like him, you trust him, right?
Yeah, and I was going to take Baker here in the next round in the 9th. He just went, 8-12 right now. So, yeah. So my other crazy one I have, Ron, is we have a league that has a last place trophy. And,
I want to do that, but everybody in my league is scared. They're babies. They don't want to do it.
So we had a toilet trophy, okay, from Trophy Smack. And I put everyone's name on there that gets last place. Well, we had a discrepancy on who took last place the first year. And I didn't take last place, but I said, hey, I'll take a picture holding the trophy with you if you'll put your name on it. The guy's like, okay. So we did that. And then all of a sudden, 4 years later, guys are like, hey, Trent never put his name on the trophy. I'm going to put his name on the trophy if I get that trophy. I kind of like Justin Fields here, but I just took a quarterback. When is my... Oh, no, I haven't taken a quarterback. I'll take Fields here. What do you think on Fields? You like him? You don't like him?
I like Justin Fields.
Oh, I'm not up. I
think he's going to do good this year.
Yeah. So anyway...
He did last year.
Yeah.
And then they had to stop playing him because otherwise they had to give him a higher draft pick.
Yeah. So Fields... I'm taking Fields. Here's my first quarterback. If I can find the button that says draft right now. Okay. So... anyways, my buddy is like, hey, I have the trophy. I'm going to go to the trophy shop and put Trent's name on this trophy. Okay? And I'm like, no, you can't deface the trophy. Once you start defacing trophies, then people start defacing the first place trophy. You don't do that. I was like, I didn't take last place in that league. And so all of a sudden, he's like, I get word that he's actually going to go into the trophy shop. He's called the trophy shop. And I'm actually good friends with the owner of the trophy shop from a couple towns away. He knows I do the podcast. So he tells people about it. And I call him. He's like, yeah, your buddy called me. I said, hey, I can't have you put my name on that trophy. He's like, well, Trent, if he brings the money in here, I know it's yours. But he's like, I won't do it. I'll let you know. But I didn't want to like throw him under the bus. Like, because then people might hear like a local business isn't doing what he's supposed to do or something like that. So I had another guy in the league who worked with this guy. We'll call him Dylan. And he said, hey, Dylan, can I go to lunch to your house? And this was a planned attack, Ron. Like, this is Navy SEALs type stuff. So I had my other friend call him and say, hey, I have the softball bag from Slow Pitch last week. Can I drop it off at your house? And he's all, yeah. So my other buddy unlocked the front door. And I had the other guy go in his truck and park in the alley. It just happens to be by this Taco Bell that worked out perfectly, and we knew that. And he's like, Dylan, I'm in the alley. Come get the bag. And Dylan's like, why didn't you just come to the front door? He's like, I'm in a hurry. Come out to the back alley. So as soon as he runs out the door, my buddy has it all on video. I bolt through the front door, grab the trophy off his mantle. Who shows off last place trophy on their, fireplace mantle? I don't know. I grab the trophy, take off. He doesn't know for like 3 days that his trophy got stolen. And he's like trying to figure out how the trophy got stolen. And then we sent the video of me sneaking the trophy. So it was pretty classic. It was That was special ops type stuff right there.
That,
But,
I tell you what, man, Trophy Smack,
yeah.
that's not the best thing that ever came around, man.
Yeah.
I love their stuff.
So
I love their stuff.
I will say, Ron, it's cool. Was the LA one, is it still at Trophy Smack?
What's that?
The LA draft, is it still at Trophy Smack?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. That one's really cool to go to because you get to meet all those guys. Like Fabiano was there. I sat at his table last year. What's her name? A couple Sports Illustrated writers. So that one's pretty cool. I like it. And it's not that bad. It's just some cool people in the industry at that one.
I'm going. You know Laquan Jones is from Sick Podcast, Good Morning Football.
Yeah.
I'm meeting with him.
Oh, very cool.
We're meeting with him, having a drink with him, probably Friday or Saturday.
Okay.
We're going to talk to him. He wants to come on the Fantasy Ghost Show. That's our YouTube show.
Nice.
Oh, thank you. It worked. I love when things work out good.
No, that's good. And it's cool because you meet people like that on X. I met you on X. You know,
yeah.
We actually interact quite a bit. So I always appreciate that when you do that. It helps everything out. So
I'm freaking stoked. I got the Justin Herbert, Trey Harris freaking stack right there.
Yeah, that's nice. Ladd McConkey went pretty early. He went early second in this draft.
I picked him up. I picked him up in the turnarounds a couple of times.
Uh-huh.
And some of the drafts I've done. Oh,
So,
crap.
You know, and we all have those leagues where like there's people who call you at like 2 a.m. so you'll veto a trade or whatever. I'm sure you know about that.
No, I have no veto. So in my home leagues, I'm friends with everybody.
Okay.
I just family and friends. So I have all their phone numbers. So I will literally, if I see a bad trade, I'll text them. Bring on Tyler Warren.
Tyler Warren. Is that your first tight end, Ron?
No, my first one was Tucker Kraft.
Okay. I remember that now.
Yeah. And I'll grab one more. Usually it's Terrence Ferguson for the Rams. So I'm high on him.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll text him. I forgot my son had some ridiculous trade. I was like, you sure you want to do this? If you want to do this, I'll push it through, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But
I got sniped on McCarthy there. Shoot. Sorry.
I was in a Dynasty league last year, and I do not believe in vetoing. I don't believe. Okay, if there's a commissioner with a power hungry,
Yeah.
like this the league I was in, the dude with power. There's a couple of trades that he just disappeared. Said, no, you can't do it. He told me you can't trade with this guy because he's brand new.
Okay.
It was the worst experience I ever had in my life playing fantasy football. It was my first Dynasty league too.
Yeah, and have you seen those leagues now where guys are like, a lot of guys are doing this now. If you're in a Dynasty league, if you trade a first round pick, you have to pay the next year's fee.
Yeah, I
think that's a good rule.
Are you subscribed to Dynasty Pulse?
I'm not.
They're really good. They're up there. Joe Porterman.
Okay.
He started it, and I'm actually in a startup Dynasty Pulse Dynasty League. $25 buy-in. He has 3 leagues: $25, $50, and $100, and just you have to pay up for the 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good idea.
Yeah, no, I don't think that for Dynasty. I don't think that's a bad idea at all.
No, not bad, because it keeps people grounded.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it keeps people knowing they're going to be active and stuff. I
leagues
agree. I'm having issues with my one Dynasty league because everybody's just they don't think it's football season yet. That drives me crazy. But because we're both into fantasy football, we're both into content creators. That's what we can call us.
Yeah.
There's no off season for us. We're in between season. That's it. You know, because we're going over ADP rates and who do you like and who you going to fade and stuff like that. And a lot of these people that aren't into that kind of stuff just are behind times.
What's your favorite dynasty pick you've ever made, Ron? Like, and it's probably more like rookie, right? Because I drafted Puka and put him in my taxi squad a few years ago. That's one of my favorites.
Bucky Irving.
Okay.
Because that's my first dynasty, but my favorite pick was a Puka.
Okay.
Because I was talking about him all off season long.
Nice. I got Rashad Bateman a few picks ago, and I feel like he's just made for best ball. You know, he has like those blow up touchdown games, and that's about it. You know, he can't really predict them. What do I think of Zay Flowers or win? Is that what you said?
Do you like Zay Flowers? Do you like Zay Flowers?
I do. He's like the PPR guy there. I seem to always have all the Ravens players except Lamar Jackson. Like I'm one of the biggest Mark Andrews fans there is the last couple of years, as hard as it was last year.
Yeah,
I kind of like Cedric Tillman. I just don't know if I like anyone throwing him the ball.
That's the thing with any Cleveland Browns skills players. I'll do the running backs.
Yeah, I saw
a skill player. I'm not going to.
I saw a Reddit post. You know, Shador got pulled over. Was he going 120 miles an hour today?
Yeah.
I saw a Reddit. Did you see that Reddit post? Did you see the Reddit post about that, Ron?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Well, no, the guy said Shador Sanders going 120 miles an hour in a 55. And the other guy said, not too bad. A few months ago, he went 125 when he was supposed to be going 25. So I'm making fun of the draft stock still. I wasn't sure you saw that one. I like Betch. It's Jack Beach or is it Betch?
Jack Betch.
Yeah. Be careful with that one. No, I like him. Yeah, this is a no language pod. I probably should have said that earlier, but I figured I could trust you, Ron.
Yeah.
You got your 2 QBs. You got 4 running backs, 4 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. I'm very stacked at the wide receiver. There's no chance that we get a Rashad White resurgence, is there?
What's a resurgence to you about this other night?
I don't know, PPR. I'm just taking because I have Bucky Irving just as security in case something happens.
Right.
But he still had a lot of receptions last year, and I know he didn't play that much at the end. So.
When you draft, are you more heavy on one position than the other?
The last couple of years, I've tried to start out with hero RB, then go wide receiver heavy. I don't know if that's right or not, but I used to be running back, and now I'm kind of like, I tend to go wide receiver heavier with all the half point PPR leagues I'm in.
Yeah, with a draft this size, I'll generally go 6 running backs and go 8 or 9 wide receivers. Because I'm a wide receiver guy. I always have been. I'm more into with doing running backs now, especially in flex positions because they get a lot more touches and stuff. So, but
yeah, Kyle Pitts is still available. Ron, are you a Kyle Pitts guy?
Yeah, I'm a Kyle Pitts guy.
Okay, you're not ready to give up yet.
No,
he's so young,
and that's because of the system. You know, and the coaching staff, and
I keep Pitts here just because I want to get that second tight end. He has a different bye week than Trey Benson, so I might, if he's there, I think I might take him here in the 14th. Other tight ends still available. We got Freiermuth, Hunter Henry. I don't hate Hunter Henry either. Oh, Pitts is gone.
We
don't know last year, and he was okay for where you like. Probably went a little earlier than I would have liked him to. He still got that 1,000 yards. And I've always been a Pickens believer, and now he's on Dallas. I'm just trying to temper myself, right? So with Rodgers, I don't see how he can be worse. You know, he looked a little better towards the end of the year, I thought, last year.
Yeah.
He didn't look like himself, but he looked a little better.
I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of it because of who the OC is. You know?
What are the chances that Roshan Johnson has that like David Montgomery role in Chicago? I really want.
There's a very good chance. There's a good chance that the whole.
I just took him.
when Dobbins and Chubb both signed,
Yes.
the Bears backfield won. They're the biggest winners that.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I'll wait till after you make this pick here, but Penix, that's nice value for Penix on the 14th. I know you do a lot of drafts, Ron. You do a lot of live streams drafts. I feel like doing the drafts like this where you kind of get to know people, talk to them. I've kind of wanted to try this out for a while. So you're the first guy I've had on to do this. So I thought that was kind of, thanks for doing this with me. I
love doing this, man.
I think it's a good change of pace, though, right? Rather than diving into the whole board.
Yeah. It's very soon on my couch watching mindless TV. And
my cousin gave Jalen McMillan a concussion in high school and put him out for the game.
Oh, really?
2019, yeah. Sorry, 2018. Yeah.
That's nuts.
That team was loaded, too. They had, I think, 6 guys play D1 football. I don't know how we beat them. Kind of a miracle, honestly. I need another tight end. I'm going to go Hunter Henry for my last tight end. Should have checked the bye weeks. That wasn't smart, Ron. You always got to check the bye weeks. He's bye week 14. Know. Drake May a lot. I wish they would have gotten maybe a little bit more help, but quarterbacks remaining. We got Darnold. Do you think Darnold can keep it going in Seattle?
No, just because they're offensive line.
Yeah. What do you think of JJ McCarthy? I was going to take JJ McCarthy. I'm taking him everywhere. I'm probably one of the highest guys on JJ McCarthy. I just believe in O'Connell that much.
I like JJ McCarthy because of O'Connell. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Jordan Addison and Hopkinson. They got a legit good team.
No, they do. What else do we got here? What do you think about Joe Milton in Dallas? There's a lot of hype coming out of him. I know he's not going to start. Do you think he ever turns anything in the NFL?
I think so. Just no different from Milrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the guy can throw it a mile, and he might be.
He's athletic.
He might be a better. Is he a more polished Anthony Richardson? Is that fair to say, or no?
Fair to say.
Okay,
because he played more.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he played 10 games in college.
Yeah.
So yeah, he played more.
Not a bad. Do you think Kareem Hunt gets a little bit of the role there still in Kansas City? I'm just looking at running backs still available. I have 6. I have 5. I don't need more.
I'm seeing too much left for Brashard Smith.
Okay.
Seeing way too much left for Brashard Smith.
I didn't realize Raheem Mostert was in Vegas. Oh, no, I remember that, but that doesn't really matter. You think so?
No.
I had Jordan just went off on, Ashton Ginty, and we always do this late at night. So most of us are dads. And so we can't really get on and do this. So it's 9 o'clock to 9:30. So it was a little late. I wasn't thinking, I think the Raiders got a really good center last year. I think the offensive line's going to be better. And Ginty tore up Oregon last year. His, he was touched a lot before the line of scrimmage, yards before. So I think Ginty's going to be really good, but maybe fourth over or, maybe what is he? He's RB4 on a lot of lists. Is he worth taking before Derrick Henry?
No.
Okay.
No. Look at the offensive line. I mean, the Raiders did good.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing they did was moving JPJ to center from guard.
Yeah.
Now, we left the guard position
and he kind of made that happen.
Yeah. Nope, I can't think who opened up the guard position for. But they have a solid right tackle now. And the guard position's good. They did sign Alex Kappa, who, from the Bengals. He had, I think, one of the worst PFF ratings, but I'm not a big PFF guy, so.
Oh, you aren't?
No.
Okay. I just took Alec Pierce. He's like a best ball, he lives for it. So.
All right. I'm going to get my last running back coming up here. If Dylan Sampson's there, I'm taking Dylan Sampson. I think he is going to be, it's going to be 1A, 1B backfield for them.
Yeah. What do you think about?
I think they're going to run the same kind of how the backfield was in Ohio with Trayvon Henderson.
Yeah. Oh, you got your guy.
Yeah, I did.
The other guy, I kind of look like I always get to this part and I'm like, oh, I like these guys. I kind of tempted to get Blake Corum just because of insurance, right? Which maybe you should do that in case something happens to Kyron. I'm a big Keaton Mitchell fan, even though Henry's there. For best ball, I think, all you need is, one good game. And he's electric, but Henry kind of squashes that, right?
Yeah, I think if you're going to take another Rams running back, I'd take Hunter.
You like Hunter more than Corum?
Yeah, because he's a different back than Blake Corum.
True. I'm kind of just going wide receiver here. Yeah, that's another best ball guy. The Colts have all the best ball wide receivers. Maybe it's just because we don't really know what's going to happen at that quarterback position, and you just live for the best ball.
If you saw it in him last year a little bit too.
Yeah.
Just Steve better quarterback play. And I think with either Daniel Jones or Richardson, I think Richardson's going to start.
Mm-hmm.
The way he went about the offseason getting the coach, and he looked good in the drills and stuff that he was doing. You could tell in some of the stuff you've seen online, his mechanics seem to be better.
Mm-hmm.
And his ceiling, dude, Richardson's ceiling is through the roof, man.
Oh, absolutely. I was a huge Richardson advocate, and now I'm kind of like, I'm kind of ready to almost give up, but I kind of like these Broncos running backs are going kind of late. You got Troy Franklin, Vele still on the board. They're way down there, though. I think Marvin Mims maybe. Oh, Roman Wilson, I was kind of looking at him.
What's your thoughts about Pat Bryant? That's probably one of my favorite targets, too.
Pat Bryant?
Mm-hmm. Pat Bryant for the Broncos.
Wide receiver, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been more up on just like Sutton. Just contract year. I kind of like that. And maybe it's just burned in my mind because someone started Marvin Mims versus me in the championship that I feel like maybe there's something with that guy.
The dynasty that I was in that I'm out of.
Mm-hmm.
So I started the team, and then they were drafting when I was at work, and I was working out at the airport out in the boondocks. Where I live at. And so I knew the Wi-Fi wasn't good, so I brought on my friend
to
draft with me. So the draft gets over, and somebody gets pissed off and leaves the league.
No.
So I said, okay, yeah. So I told the guy, I'll take this team over. His team was trash, just trash. So I mean, I barely won 2 games, but the guy that took over my team won the league. But all along, he was asking, I'd get text messages, hey, what do you think about this trade? What do you think about this trade? And then towards the end of the season, sorry, you got to check fish, so I'm going to...
Picks are always tough.
Is it last pick?
The last pick. We're already through.
Okay, then I need to get my guy.
You know what? I didn't take another quarterback, Ron. I got too busy talking that I didn't get a backup QB. Absolutely crossed. Justin Fields does not get injured. I am absolutely hosed now. I always do something these best ball drafts. After J.J. McCarthy got taken, I was like, I'm going to wait a little bit. I guess I could have taken Jackson Dart or Jalen McRowe or Joe Flacco. It happens. He stays healthy. Maybe something happens there, right? So
yeah, I like the underdog when they do the draft summary. It shows my projections number 3.
Are you 3? What am I at? I haven't gotten to that.
What's your team name?
I am a TFF dude.
Oh, you are. You're at.
Am I way down there?
You're 5th. Yeah.
5th. Okay. Right where I drafted. Is that?
Yeah, that's funny.
Do you think that's just draft order?
It doesn't look like it.
I'm not sure. So
I don't know.
Well, Ron, any other, do you got a sleeper team this year that you're all in on or no?
A sleeper team?
Yeah, like a team you're all way too high on that you're just, I'm kind of getting excited for the Bears. I don't even think that's a sleeper though.
I think the Chargers.
Chargers, yeah, second year for Herbert and Harbaugh's.
Yeah.
I like Hampton, and like I said, I'm a Najee guy, but I think that's
Yeah.
just kind of a mixed backfield now. I think they use both those guys, right?
But they'll use them good, though, because I trust McMahon. The one tight end that I'll grab too is a sleeper tight end
Mm-hmm.
for the Chargers is Gatson.
Okay. Yeah. Herbert's had some success with tight ends back with Hunter Henry, but I think outside of that, it hasn't. But he's not afraid to use them if he could get one. So
No, Will Disley did pretty good last year for him,
mm-hmm.
but for
at the end,
I think Chargers probably.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see the Raiders, but I'm a realist, so they'll be better this year than they were last year.
So I'm looking at your behind you. I see the championship belt. I see a lot of Ram stuff. So are you just LA teams no matter what? Is that kind of where you're at?
No, I got. Let's see, I have Raider stuff, and then my baseball team are the Angels.
Okay.
Just don't hate me for that.
I watched Angels in the outfield on Father's Day with my kids. They liked it.
Did they like it?
Oh yeah. But my oldest is 4, 2.5, and 8 months. So yeah, they thought it was pretty good. They liked it when that angel spanks that guy around in second base.
Yeah. Then the wall in front of me is all Lakers stuff, and then I have like a Joe Montana print sign. I have Troy Aikman.
Oh, nice.
Some Dallas stuff. I have one of my favorite pictures is Lawrence Taylor kneeling over Randall Cunningham going like this to him.
Oh yeah.
That's
That's a picture.
And all this is funny because all the stuff that I have is, so my friend Greg Williamson that kicked out of the league.
Yeah.
He owned a memorabilia store up in up in my area. And so I met him. They moved into our house and it's like, okay, we had a game room. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to start buying shot glasses.
Mm-hmm.
So I had every football team I got shot glass for, but I was using my recycling money for my cans. So it's about 9% of stuff I have in my memorabilia room is stuff I bought from saving recycling can money.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Oh, that's good. That's a good deal. So how'd you meet Greg then?
I met my wife. My wife was doing, working for a radio station selling advertising.
Okay, cool.
At first she went to the store, but at that time I was going through chemo. So I wasn't really going anywhere other than to work at home.
Mm-hmm.
And so then right after got all done with the chemo and we bought the house. And so I went into the store and we hit it off pretty good. We got really good. He's a good dude, man.
Yeah.
Great stories.
Oh, I bet.
He played with Eric Dickerson.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Well, good deal, Ron. Thanks for coming in, man. I'm not sure when I'm going to put this out yet. I'm thinking sometime next week. I'll for sure let you know. It won't come out on Tuesday because that's when we do our other one, but kind of trying to get a week ahead with content so I don't have to, like, in case we miss something, I have something here. And I feel like there's good enough, talk in here that, and you can follow the draft on YouTube at TFF Dudes or Spotify, but yeah, we got all there. Well, thanks for coming on, Ron.
I appreciate the invite, man.
Hey, anytime we'll have to do this again and I'll have to come on your show. If you ever need, just need a Yahoo on there, that's fine.
No, we only need
I wasn't even
brilliant fantasy football on like yours, man.
Yeah, no.
Come on now.
I was going to talk, because you know where my hometown is. Not a lot of people know where Kingsburg, California is. You've driven through here.
Yeah, I know where it's at.
Yeah, so, and then you told me, your dad lives in Fresno?
Yep.
Yeah, so, and then I was going to talk about like was it a cat furniture company they had? Like I was thinking about talking about that. Like,
yeah, we built cat furniture for 10 years.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. So I probably could build some of that stuff for my kids, like, for them to play on. They'd probably like that too.
Probably,
so, yeah.
Probably. How old are your kids?
4 is the oldest, 4 and 2.5. So yeah, they might be able to mess with that stuff. I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like you could talk a lot about that. Like I go on fantasy shows and people end up talking about farming more than actually football, So it's just like, it's fascinating to people,
Now, all your friends, are they farmers too?
Not a lot of farmers under the age of like 65. All the farmers under the age of 65 I'm related to, I feel like. So, right. But most of my friends are in the ag business. Okay. I will say. So there's a lot of people in the Central Valley that are in ag, but yeah, not a lot of young farmers anymore. No. Yeah. So, but anyways, I don't think there's a lot of people making cat, furniture either, though. So I feel like they're both kind of fascinating.
Not the way we used to do it, man.
Yeah.
Nope. Not at all.
Yeah. No, that's cool though. But perfect. Well, Ron, I'll let you go, man. Don't be a stranger. We'll have to do something like this again, though. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hit me up, man. I enjoy it. We'll get you on the Fantasy Ghost show and yak it up, man.
Yeah, I got to get one of those live streams on when my kids aren't awake, though. That's the problem. It's hard to do it when the kids are watching you do it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But perfect. So anyways, well, thanks, Ron.
I appreciate it, brother.
Hey, anytime. And you guys all take care.